to wellness. Now, here are your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
Thank you for joining us in the second half of the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. It is hour number 2, and this is the Real Estate Hour. And today we're going to focus on what's happening in our local real estate market, how the cost of real estate could possibly affect your bottom line long term, and how one of our local companies is not only making an impact in your individual lives, but also in the lives of many others who may need your help. I think they focus a lot on charity and charitable events, and that's very important to Don and I. Today, Don is not with us, and you may have heard Dan Hunt with me a little bit earlier with Cherry Creek Mortgage. And right now, for the second half, I've got Dennis Kotzman joining me. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, and I've got to say that when I heard Don was going to be on today, I was very excited. Don and I... Whoa, I'm not Don.
I thought it was your best friend, dude.
Are you channeling?
I'm channeling Don. Let me start over. Paul Gonzales is joining us today, and I just want to monologue for a second and say, without Paul intervening, I probably would not still be in the mortgage business today.
Wow, that's actually powerful.
And I have to say, not only is he a great friend, he's a mentor, he's a confidant, he's a all-around great guy, and one of the best branch managers I know.
How much did you pay him for that testimonial?
Well, I just started with 50 and kept going it from there. Gino.
It didn't take much.
And then I had to get my checkbook out because I didn't have enough cash with me. So.
Too many zeros. So that voice you hear is Paul Gonzales with Troop Real Estate, our local Troop office here, and a good friend of ours, and just a breath of fresh air, very down to earth, and you know, it's interesting you say that, Dennis, because people might not realize how difficult our industry is today, how difficult real estate and lending is, and how we all truly want the absolute best for our clients, and we're always trying to deliver a high level of service. However, the current industry environment can make that difficult on a day-to-day basis.
I think it's one of the most difficult industries you can be in now.
Well, we're to blame for everything that happened for the last 10 years, for sure.
Well, sure, and then of course they have to put the thumb down on us and make our job even more difficult. So.
Yeah. So what Dennis is alluding to is that recently we've gone through some legislative changes. Just so you know how serious our legislation is about loan officers doing a good job for you. And, maybe this is a little secret not a lot of people want to let out, but you know what? At Cherry Creek Mortgage, we do a good job, and I'm 100% comfortable that we do the right thing for you. So as of January 10th this year, your loan officer is personally liable for putting you in a good mortgage and evaluating your ability to repay. And so take that into consideration when you choose a loan officer, that you're choosing a professional that has your best interest at heart.
Well, I think also, just to kind of dovetail on that, Gino, is it's one of those things that I feel as an individual loan officer and as Cherry Creek Mortgage that we do very well. I mean, I come from a finance background, I come from an investment advisor background, and I really do take that to heart. I mean, let's face it, there are some clients that their ability to repay is probably questionable.
Yeah.
And it's incumbent upon us to say to them, hey, look, this is not the right transaction for you, or maybe it's just not the right time for you. And let's work on that and make it better.
Yeah, and I know, Dennis, you do a great job of that. And Paul, your team always supports us in whatever advice we're giving our borrowers to make sure that ultimately, one of the things I picked up during this down cycle that we saw a few years back, and I kind of used it as a tagline for many years, was the most important part about real estate is being able to keep it.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's that's a great saying. I should write that down. Can I use that?
Use it.
Can I?
Use
I'm
it.
a
Borrow
mentor.
it, steal it, do it. Yeah.
It's funny. I want to elaborate a little bit on what Dennis had just said, and it's very, very important to not just myself as a person, but we're talking about Troop Real Estate a little bit, and why it dovetails so well into what Dennis had just stated. Our business in general has the ability to do very positive things for people, and we also have the ability to stretch the truth and not be where we should be on point, and then we kind of cause our own issues and problems. Hence, never happened here at Cherry Creek Mortgage, never happened with Don Getling, never happened with Gino, never has happened with Dennis. It has happened with others, and as an outsider, as a branch manager for a mortgage company, my entire context of my company's being is we live with honesty, integrity, and ethics. And every let's face it, every broker, every ad you've ever seen in real estate says we're honest, integrity, and ethics, and every mortgage broker you've ever seen is honesty. But you've got to have the backbone to back that up. And just like Dennis said, there's times that you look at something, and I've seen Dennis do it. Dennis was my personal loan officer for many years, as was Don, and come to me and say, you know what, I can get them into a loan, but I don't think it's in their best interest. We shouldn't write this.
Yeah, and that's actually the most important piece. And that voice you just heard was Paul Gonzales at Troop Real Estate, our local Troop Real Estate office. And Paul, what's a good way to get a hold of you?
You can always call the office at 661-705-0700.
I want to take a quick snapshot away. Let's jump into one quick piece because we usually do the word on wealth during this segment. And Dennis, if you could help me, we've got some rate projections because I'm going to focus the next segment a little bit on what's happening. And I want to know real quick what's happening to interest rates and what do we think is going to happen to interest rates going forward?
Well, Gino, looking at the stats that I have in front of me, my first impression is how accurate they are. I mean, this is from the Mortgage Brokers Association. Taking a look back to 2013, they've been right on the mark. We all know that in 2013, interest rates were in the mid-threes, and they took a big jump. Now I'm looking at the first quarter projection. They're looking at 4.4, 4.6. We're right in that neighborhood. But guess what? 2015, they're projecting another 3/4 higher.
0.75% higher, and that has a major impact on your finances. So I invite you to join us at donandgino.com. If you go to the watch, chat, and listen live, we've got the chart from the Mortgage Bankers Association posted right now on the website. So I invite you to donandgino.com. And of course, you'll be able to see that replay on the YouTube channel a little bit later. If you're driving right now and can't look at that chart but want to take a look at it, you could look at the YouTube channel from our website as well.
You didn't warn me this is going to be on YouTube.
Everything's on YouTube.
Right? Everything's on YouTube. Hey, our life is a public story these days, right? You are now part of the media, Dennis Kotzman. Right? Yes, yes. Wow, that's a subject to talk about. Let's talk about something brighter. How about our LA Kings? Huh?
Wow.
Good job last night. So I know that Taylor in our office is a huge Kings fan, and he was very excited this morning, as was I last night. Unfortunately, I missed the game. But, it's kind of good for LA sports to actually win something.
I agree.
Yeah, in dramatic fashion. I mean, you have to come back from 3-0 and win 4 in a row, and the last one, of course, being in San Jose, was just an incredible game. So it was pretty exciting.
Well, it is exciting. And, in fact, when we get back, we'll talk about some more exciting stuff. Spring fling is in full effect. Appreciation's happening. Get in on the market. Don't let the opportunities close for you. Give us a call at 855-DON-GINO and hang around for the rest of the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS.